Peace. Welcome to the YouTube live book reading of Sacred Sounds. Magic and healing through words and music. By the great Ted Andrews. I'm your moderator and narrator, Uriel Riley. So welcome YouTube. Peace. And we are in this first chapter still, Divine Rising. All right. We pick up in this fourth reading in the middle of page 20. All right. Welcome you to peace. Harmony is the third part of a threefold song. It is through harmony that the power of our own individual energy can link with the energy of the divine. In harmony lies not only a physical, emotional, and mental aspect of sacred sound, but a spiritual aspect as well. When working with healing, the simpler the harmony, the better. The relationship of one tone to another is reflected through harmony, as it is in melody. A chord is two or more notes sounding simultaneously or arranged in accordance with harmonics. Ideally, the key tone is played, as are one or more of the overtones. This blends the tones together to create a uniting of vibrations and power that one single tone could not create. Learning to blend the tones for various effects constitutes a study in itself. Refer to Part 2, The Art of Magical Storytelling. Working with harmony provides the key to transformation. It is the key to altering and transmuting, raising and lowering, adapting and shifting our energies and abilities on all levels. It enables us to transmute conditions of the physical body and alter our state of consciousness. Like an alchemist, we turn the lead of our life into gold by finding the right combinations of tones, rhythms, and harmonies. We can trigger a resonance within the body, mind, or soul so as to correct imbalances and to achieve higher states of consciousness. This process reflects itself in all aspects of life. This is also readily apparent in the process of psychic unfoldment. As we work to develop one spiritual ability or psychic gift, others open up automatically and in harmony with the first. Those areas of expression compatible with our point of focus begin to unfold for us. We can call this the process of spiritual harmonics. Peace, you too. Welcome. Highest heart love. Peace. Thank you, Celeste. Thank you for reading books with us in this peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. All right, we're in page 21 down at the bottom. Although we are treating all three elements as distinct, they all have multiple functions. Yes, rhythm does affect the physical predominantly. Yes, melody affects the emotions and thoughts as well as the body, and harmony affects us on all levels: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. As we learn to employ each separately and then in combination, we begin to create the threefold song of absolute. We learn to mold and shape the energies through their combinations in creative and uniquely magical ways. Peace. Thank you for the likes and subs. Peace. Highest heart love. Gratitude. Sacred Sounds by the great master Ted Andrews. Discover the magical power of singing, speaking, and storytelling. We're at the bottom of page 21. All right, here we go. Other principles of sacred sound. Thank you so much for the likes and subs. We're pushing towards 600 on this peaceful part of YouTube. The effects of sound in any form are cumulative and detectable. The more we are exposed to beneficial sounds, the greater and the more permanent the effect they have upon our own individual energies. The more we are exposed to detrimental sounds, the greater the negative effect they have upon us on all levels. Our bodies can discriminate between beneficial and detrimental sounds and will respond accordingly. These responses affect physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual states. Unfortunately, most people do not recognize the effects until there is a physical response. We can audibly detect when balance has occurred. Our voice is a great indicator, as we will discuss in the chapter on the occult significance of speech. We can audibly discern those sounds which are beneficial to us and those which are not. We must take into consideration individual tastes and needs, as we each have our own unique energy system. Sound in any of its form is a source of energy. As a source of energy, it can be used to interact with other energies. Sound, whether through music, voice, or other sources, is effective as a tool to alter the electromagnetic fields and impulses of an individual or an environment. Peace, highest heart love. Thank you so much for being here and reading with us. Sacred Sounds. I'm Master Fitness Trainer Uriel Never Riley. Thank you so much. Highest heart love. Yes, we are the real healers, right? The real light workers in the world. And so come on here, give you this peace and harmony in reading, being nice and calm and still and relaxed. Right? This means that if an imbalance has occurred within the body's normal electromagnetic parameters, whether it is a dysfunction of a specific organ or a particular system, we can utilize sacred sound in one of its forms or combinations to help restore homeostasis, alleviate pain, or to accelerate healing. As an energy source, it can also be used as a tool for the change of consciousness. It facilitates concentration, relaxation, learning, creativity, and an increased awareness of psycho spiritual states. It can interact with and help alter brain wave patterns to facilitate this process. The pitch of a sacred sound in any of its forms must be considered in its effective application. Pitch is the highness or lowness of the sound. The pitch is determined by the speed at which it vibrates. The faster the sound vibrates, the higher the pitch. Physically and spiritually, this tells us that as we raise our own individual energy levels, we open to a higher degree of health. It is the raising of our energies to the highest pitch possible without unbalancing ourselves That is the task of the true student of life. It is a process that takes work. Rushing it is like taking gymnastics without preparations. There is a great possibility of injury occurring. The principle of pitch tells us much about the evolution process. Low tones bend around objects when they are emitted. This is why in places where there is a live band music, you will continue to hear the bass and percussion instruments following after you as you leave the area. The low pitched tones bend around the corners and doorways. It is the path of least resistance. High pitched tones are more focused. Sometimes the absorption or resonance of high vibrations can be shattering to old forms. This is most easily demonstrated through the shattering of a crystalline glass by singing properly pitched tones. That I we know as the glass breaker, right? Hi, it's hard love. Thank you so much. Much love to all the book lovers community and all those with the light workers abilities. This is what it's about. Helping one another, reading and being in community and uplifting the people. That's what us light workers do. Thank you so much for being here. High pitched tones are more focused. Sometimes the absorption or resonance of high vibrations can be shattering to old forms. This is most easily demonstrated through the shattering of a crystalline glass by singing the properly pitched tone. It is also reflected in the changes that occur when someone encounters another of a highly intense energy field. It can shatter old concepts and habits for good or for bad. Working with pitch patterns can result in shattering rigid energy patterns that are limiting our growth, awareness, and health. This shattering can manifest in some form of healing crisis. With a new perception and even an entirely new orientation to life. The sacred sound aspect of pitch is that which can open us to higher energy levels in all aspects of our being. The higher and stronger our own energy fields are, the less likely they are to be impinged upon from outside sources, and the more we can adapt them to resonate to a wider spectrum of forces, people, and conditions of life. In many ways, we are like fans. We give off energy. With some people, the air is soft and weak, and almost everything can pass through that air flow to affect the individual. With others, the air is so strong that hardly anything can penetrate, and it can be adjusted to lower, less intense levels as needed. We all have our own natural pitch, but there is also a universal pitch. This is the ideal vibration. It is what will ultimately bring resonance with the divine. It will bring harmony with all life rhythms. We can use the pitches of instruments and voices to assist us in maintaining our own natural pitch while developing that link to the universal pitch. This will be explored in several of the processes discussed throughout this text. How do you find your natural pitch at present? There are a number of ways. One of the easiest is by determining your vocal pitch. You will need to find a piano to assist you, or some instrument that can play several octaves of notes. Find the highest note that you can sing without your voice cracking. Then find the lowest note, The tone midway between the two is the pitch at which you are operating most at this time. As you work with many of the techniques explored in this text, recheck your pitch. You will find your range of pitches expanding, a wonderful growth indicator. Yeah, that's very key, enhancing our timbre and the pitch. So that's why in the harmonic vibrational, we do have exercises in there for scaling up the different vowels. We take it, and we also, when I'm doing this in my sessions, we just had a wonderful Your Healing session. And thank you to Philip. Thank you so much. It was a beautiful session yesterday. And we will go with, I'll say, take you, for instance. At the beginning, we'll say you. And then we'll say, okay, now let's hold this tone at lowest pitch that you can. And we'll say, you. Hold it for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 seconds. And then I'll say, now let's take the you as high as you can. Let's hold that. So we'll go, you, and hold that. But what it does is it will start to vibrate, and you'll come to a medium point where the voice is not cracking, and you know that you are expanding and enhancing the timbre and pitch. So thank you so much for being here with us and reading Sacred Sounds by the great Ted Andrews, one of the great masters I had the pleasure of being able to work with. All right. The tone, which is midway, is your strongest pitch of resonance at this time. In the sections to come, you can explore how to use it to facilitate your own growth and healing through vocalizations, mantras, and instruments. Before we can employ sacred sound and the power of the word to affect others, we must learn to apply it inwardly. The affect and affect ourselves first. All right. Peace. Thank you so much. The timbre. All right. The timbre of the sound in any of its forms must be considered in its effective application. Page 25 at the top of Sacred Sounds. The quality, the distinctive characteristics, and the influence of sound is called the timbre or tone color. It is the distinguishing source of all sound. It helps us to identify one sound from another, one voice from another, one instrument from another. Every sound and sound instrument has its own distinguishable characteristic. It is timbre, along with pitch, which affects us most. Timbre creates responses that are either consonant or dissonant. Both terms relate to the energy perceptions toward outside stimuli and their resulting transformation. When we respond with consonants to the timbre of various sounds, spoken or otherwise, we develop a positive rapport. The cells in our body recognize what sounds are good for us and respond accordingly. The timbre of fingernails across a blackboard is harsh and grating to the nervous system, while the timbre of a bamboo flute is soothing to the nervous system. When we respond to sounds with dissonance, our energies and cells are distinguishing which sounds are not in harmony with us. Unless we pay attention to signals that our bodies give us, we may miss opportunities to enhance the beneficial effects or may allow the detrimental to impinge unnecessarily upon us. Part of the secret power of the word involves learning to control the timbre of the voice to create consonants or dissonance according to desires. I'm gonna have to drop a pin here. Yeah, you have to drop a pin there because that's a very important part. It says the basically a secret power that we have in our voice and in it's dealing with timbre. So we our voice and our body always go together, right? Meaning they're always in a sympathetic resonance. So when we take it higher and lower or increase the timbre, this is going to balance out our bodies naturally because our voice always is in sympathetic resonance with our entire body, internally and externally. Yeah, very key point right there, right? I know. It's very key. Oh, most of us do this naturally. If we wish to be left alone, we will assume a tone that is harsh or grating to others, pushing them away. If we wish to be friendly, we assume a tone of voice that is soft, gentle, and light. Through practice, we can learn to create physiological and spiritual changes in ourselves and others through altering the timbre of our speech and by employing the timbre of various instruments to elicit specific effects. The techniques and effects will be elaborated upon in the following chapters. All right. We'll pause right here. Yeah, we'll pause right here. I want you to have a wonderful, wonderful day. And it's Tuesday, so I'm going to be flying on. Right. Yeah. Time to take flight. I wish you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here. It's heart, love, and honor. Let's have a glass of love water, right? Cheers to another great reading. I wish the sound and sights for you has been rewarding. Highest heart love. I love you so much. Thank you. Love to all our friends and family. Love. Thank you. Oh, I love you. I love you. I love you. Divine Rising. Thank you so much for being here. Love to all our friends and family. We're doing it, right? All for the people. Yeah. Thank you for being in this peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. I'm Master Fitness Trainer Uriel Riley. Thank you again for reading with us. I want you to have a wonderful day. We're pushing towards 600 subs on this channel. So thank you for the likes and subs. Highest heart level. I will see you soon, right? Yeah. We shake it up. Sacred Sound by the great Ted Andrews. All right. Highest heart love. I love you. I love you, you. You know, because I love myself. doing. I will see you soon. Have a wonderful day. Peace, peace. Thank you.